It's been a month since Operation Epic Fury kicked off, and President Trump just stepped up to the White House podium with a clear message. This war isn't over yet.
We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
In less than a single news cycle, multiple missiles were launched, intercepted and echoed across an entire region. This is a rapid military escalation happening in Iran and Israel, with signal already reaching other countries like the United Arab Emirates.
UAE. UAE air defenses engaged 19 ballistic missiles and 26 UAVs. The UAE air defenses, in fact, on 2nd of April only, engaged 19 ballistic missiles and 26 UAVs that were launched from Iran. Since the beginning of the blatant Iranian attacks, UAE air defenses have engaged at least 457 ballistic missiles.
The speed, coordination and repetition of these attacks suggests something important. This is no longer a contained exchange. It is a developing regional crisis.
The thing is, the Iran war was originally only focused on Iran, but Iran has been fighting back, launching missiles and strikes across the region, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, but also it's ended up with the Straits of Hormuz and the Bab al-Mandab Straits, and of course across in Israel. The whole conflict seems to have expanded and potentially looks like it's getting out of control.
According to emerging reports, Iran launched a series of multiple missiles targeting Israel in a series of hours. Israeli defense system responded to 3 consecutive attacks, intercepting a significant number of incoming projectiles. However, some impacts were reported, indicating that not all threats were neutralized. The third wave is particularly notable because it reportedly occurred after a public address by Donald Trump.
Take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy.
While there is no confirmed operational link, the timing adds a layer of geopolitical signaling that analysts are closely watching. Additionally, the Israeli media have suggested the possible use of cluster-type munitions. They are designed to release smaller sub-munitions over a wide area, increasing the overall zone of impact rather than focusing on a single precise target. If confirmed, this will represent a shift in the nature of the strike, from targeted attack to broader areas of disruption tactics.
Well, Israeli and US forces continue to pound targets across Iran as well, prompting Iranian retaliatory strikes across the Gulf. Well, 4 days into the war with Iran, US President Donald Trump told reporters that the US military had struck numerous Iranian naval and air targets, saying that just about everything has been knocked out.
This phase is defined by intensity, repetition, and expanding impact zones.
They have no air force that's been knocked out. They have no air detection that's been knocked out. Their radar has been knocked out. And just about everything's been knocked out. So we'll see how we do, but we're doing very well. We have a great military, and they're doing a fantastic job, so we'll be talking about that.
The use of multiple waves in rapid succession is a deliberate military aggression. It serves 3 main purposes that are saturation. First, it attempts to overwhelm air defense systems by forcing them to respond continuously rather than to a single event. Secondly, it increases likelihood that some missile will penetrate defense, especially in interception systems are strengthened or saturated. Third, it creates physical pressure, maintaining a constant state of alert and uncertainty for both military forces and civilians. Israel relies on a layered defense structure, often relying on associated systems like the Iron Dome, which is highly effective against short and medium-range threats. However, no system is designed to operate under unlimited, repeatedly straight without consequences. If cluster munitions were indeed used, the objective may also include maximizing disruption across wider areas, complicating both defense and recovery efforts. What we are saying is not just retaliation, it is a tactical escalation designed to test limits. The situation is already extending beyond Israel.
For weeks, Abu Dhabi tried to stay out of it, but Iran kept firing missiles and tightening its grip on the Strait of Hormuz. Now the damage is starting to show in the UAE in travel, business and daily life. So the UAE is rethinking its position and reportedly weighing its military options. But what could that mean for the region?
The United Arab Emirates has reportedly responded to missile and drone threats.
According to a detailed report in the Wall Street Journal, the UAE is now preparing to support military action to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This marks a major shift. If the UAE takes that step, it would become the first Gulf state to join the war as a direct combatant,
indicating that the security of the environment is shifting across the region. This reflects broader patterns in Middle Eastern geopolitics. It is important to note in this situation that risks often and rarely remain isolated
to any other country. These attacks have already caused serious damage. Air travel has been disrupted. Tourism has dipped. Property markets have taken a hit. Layoffs have begun. Investors are nervous. And the UAE's image as a stable business hub has been shaken.
Because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, pretty much all the ports in the Middle East Gulf have lost access to the wider oceans. The region of Arabia, which includes UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain and Kuwait, depends a lot on containerized imports of essential commodities, especially food, that come through container ports.
Airspace and defense structure become interconnected under pressure. There is growing concern about multi-front retaliation where different actors are involved, either state or non-state actors.
What we know so far. The US and Israel have launched a series of coordinated strikes on Iran, which the Pentagon is calling Operation Epic Fury. President Donald Trump says major combat operations aim to annihilate Iran's naval sites and has vowed the regime will never have a nuclear weapon. Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it has retaliated by launching drones and missiles against Israel and US bases in the region. Blasts have been heard in the United Arab Emirates, in Jordan, in Bahrain and in Kuwait.
Regional actors respond quickly to perceived threats. Even without a formal declaration of a wider war, the dynamics are changing day to day. The conflict is not longer geographically contained, it is already regionally interconnected. At this stage, several critical factors define the situation. The frequency of attack is increasing, indicating momentum rather than de-escalation. The method may be potentially involving wider than impact weapons. More countries are reacting, even if only defensive for now. At the same time, key uncertainty remain. Will additional waves follow, or will there be a pause? How will major power respond, especially the United States, diplomatically or militarily?
2 to 3 weeks, we're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. We are in this military operation so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future.
Can existing channels of communication prevent further escalations? Situations like this are highly fluid. They can stabilize through diplomacy and multiply through miscalculation. Right now, the region is at a stage of high tension with an unpredictable next step. What will happen next? Pay attention not just to what is happening now, but how it is evolving over time.